these are my swing thoughts. Yes, my swing thoughts, and I think they will really help you play some better golf as well. Now, as you saw at the weekend, I played at Carden Park. I played with 3 of my friends. It was fab. We did a 2-day tournament, better ball. Yeah, we didn't come out on top, but I actually managed to play some decent golf, so it was really good. Now, before we get into today's video, comment down below if you have managed to go away this year, whether it be abroad or even just in the UK on a golfing trip with some friends. Let me know where you played and who came out on top. That's what matters really, isn't it? We all know we want to come out on top. Unfortunately, I didn't. One of my friends had 27 points on the back 9. And you're thinking, Alex, is that possible? Well, it is. He plays at 22, and from memory, I think it was either 2 or 3 over gross for 9 holes. Yes, 27 points. Some people don't get that in 18 holes. Anyway, so these are the swing thoughts that I use. So I always know these are my habits that I get into, is very slidey, then stuck, and very flippy, and a pull hook left, or with driver, that big push high slice are my 2 terrible shots. And I know if my body's not moving great, I am going to be susceptible to that shot. So on the long game I'm going to show you, so this is the feeling that I had for my driver, and this is the feeling that I had for my irons, and then what I had around the greens, and then for putting as well, because it's going to surprise you how simple I made my putting, so do stick around for that. So what I was feeling, and this is how I built it into my pre-shot routine, I was literally feeling as though as I start my downswing, I almost felt like I turned back on myself, because my bad move is when I get lazy, is into impact, I'm really bunched up, this left leg is bent, and I get stuck. So what I was really trying to feel is this, really turning back on myself. So my practice swing before every single shot was to the top, nice and slow, down, really feel myself very open, explode up and out. The second practice swing was turn and trying to implement that into the shot. Now, over the golf ball, I wasn't thinking that at all. Yes, you heard me right, I wasn't thinking that at all. I was trying my best to try and play a shot. Now, obviously, that didn't work all the time, because as golfers, we know it doesn't work all the time. But it did sometimes, and it did give me some confidence. So I know if I'm playing my best golf, I'm playing a little tidy fade. On the golf course, if I start drawing it, some alarm bells start ringing, because I know I don't draw it very well sometimes, get a little bit stuck. So before every single shot, I was trying to picture that fade, but I was stood over the golf ball to the top, open up, I'm really trying to feel as though I turned back on myself and had no shift through to target. So let's hit this one away, and then come and join me up by the green, where we'll talk about how I got around the short game. And that really helped me become much better strike, much purer shots. Don't forget to put your divots back. I know you'll haggle me for that. There's nothing more annoying, is it? Like, if you remember at a golf course and people don't put the divots back, it's your own golf course. So hit that thumbs up button if you're a person that thinks divots should be put back every single time. Please hit that thumbs up button, guys. Another thing is, my clubs are looking clean. I'm sure some of you were commenting how dirty my clubs were on one of my posts. So come and join me by the green, and we'll talk about how we chip around the greens. So, short game shot now. Short game was pretty sharp at the weekend, and for me, I do struggle with that. My bad shots in short game are a thin or a fat, especially when it is like now, isn't it, around in the UK. We know those lies are getting a little bit terrible, a little bit muddy, and all it does is scream alarm bells into me. And I think I don't like that, and I know a lot of you can share that with me as well. So before we move on to how I play these short game shots, what is your worst shot in your game right now? As I said to you, from the fairway or from the tee, I get stuck, those high push slices or those snap hooks. Two-way miss is not good. So that whole feeling of turning around myself really helps me stay connected, it helps me keep moving through, and I feel a lot more in sync with it. So short game now. How do I go about this? How do I go about this? So simple. So I've hit this shot in. As I'm walking up, I'm taking into account where my ball is, where's the flag, what's the situation like. I've looked at the lie, I'm in a fairway lie. So first off, I know I can control the ball quite well. Secondly, I always walk onto the green where I want to pitch and land the ball, because I've got a much better perception of distance actually walking that distance rather than trying to just guess it visually. Some golf courses, especially at Carden Park where we played, some of these undulations made it very deceptive about the distances you had to hit it. So walking up to it, getting a feeling, okay, this is where I want to land it, looking at the land, okay, it's not downhill, it's quite flat here, so I know it's not going to skid off from me. Get that perception. Okay, so as I'm walking back, I tend to walk back looking towards target, feeling if I was going to underarm throw that, stood here underarm throwing it, what trajectory would I need it to land on that green where I walk to and roll out. So right now for me, I feel 58's the shot. Now, I'm not playing it high, I'm just choosing to use a 58 because I'm on a good lie and I don't want much rollout. So I'd be stood here, feeling as I was underarm throwing it, get a little bit closer to it, and my whole feeling was associated with my right thumb being down to the ground and then being through to target, as opposed to being really wristy. Again, I personally have to feel it a little bit more wooden to get the most out of my short game. It probably doesn't look that wooden, but that's the feeling that I go for. So walking in, I've had my 2 practice swings, I'm picturing it, and I always have my practice swings looking towards where I want that ball to land, so I get a perception of I putting the right impetus into the shot. Over the golf ball now, this is the feeling I apply. Really nice shot, roll a little bit past. Let's talk about now, let's head to the green and talk about how I putted, because I'm an absolute stickler, and I mean this, for making putting to be one of the most technical things in the world, and we all know we can't do that. We literally can't let it become technical, because as soon as we let it become technical, I think we lose what we're trying to do. If you think about it this way, all we're trying to do is get that ball to go in the hole. Now I know that you might be thinking, Alex, well that's well of course we are, that's all we're trying to do, it's all we've ever been trying to do, but we have to go technical to do that. Well, I want you to think about, on the golf course, you've got to let it happen. You've got to let it happen. This is what I concentrated on. Come on, come with me here, because this is so important. So I went through a process of every time my ball went on the green, I would mark it behind, I would clean it, and straight away I wouldn't put the line down. I actually put the ball down where you couldn't see anything, just the white of the golf ball, just the white of the golf ball. I would then walk behind the shot, have a look at it, which side's higher, which side's lower. So right now I'm taking that perception that that right hand side's a little bit lower, so I would then walk to that lower side and get a perception of where I am. Okay, much better feeling a distance now, seeing it from that side view. Again, walking back now, I've got a much better judgment of what I'm trying to do. All I would feel on the golf ball is, once I'm over it now, I know it's going to be a little bit right to left, so I'm picturing golf balls all the way down here, dot to dotting, until they go into the hole. And I would literally picture 5 or 6 golf balls where they are, where my ball's got to go through, and what space my ball's got to go through in order to hold this putt. Creating some practice swings, picturing that shot, feeling that shot, again looking towards target, imagining in your head what we're trying to feel and what we're trying to do. Then over the golf ball, all I want you to feel is that you accelerate through the shot. So you always go through a quarter more than you took it back, to really get that feeling of accelerating, not decelling into impact. A little bit left on that, but again, real nice chance just past the hole. That is how I tackle the shots out on the golf course. I really hope you enjoyed that style of video. I know it's a little bit different. I just thought it was good to share with you and show you, even if you don't play golf a lot, having a little bit of a mantra, having some swing thoughts that work for you in each and every department of the game, help you tick.